Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Steve Jobs Theater.
You know, there's a lot of people talking about the iPhone 11 Pro's camera design. They're saying it's ugly. Well, I just don't see it. If you're new to the channel, it's a blind joke. I'm legally blind. All right, roll video. So I've just returned home from Apple's fall event, and I want to share with you my favorite aspect of the iPhone 11 Pro hands-on experience. Real fast, I just want to share my impressions of all the announcements from an accessibility standpoint. In theory, I really want to like Apple Arcade, but it's going to come down to if I'm going to be able to experience it. There's going to be over 100 video game titles available on your iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple TV that you can just start streaming and playing September 19th for only $5 a month. My only concern is, can I play them? I don't know yet. I'm still waiting for final word from Apple if these games are going to be accessible. Now, Apple's just providing the platform, and I'm sure the UI itself for Apple Arcade will be accessible, just like everything else that they make. But it's also going to be dependent on the developers, and if those developers are being encouraged to make their games accessible to the blind and just for people who have disabilities in general. So, well, we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of C, Apple released a full trailer for C. It's a show. I would love to talk to you more about it, but I really can't. I'm excited for it, but we'll talk more about that at a later date, at least on this channel. But if you want to check out the audio described trailer for that, link will be in the description. Apple TV Plus, I'm pretty excited for because it's going to be accessible right out of the gate with audio descriptions for all the shows and episodes.
I hope that you can, thank you.
If you don't know what audio descriptions are, I got a video. I can inform, educate you on that, but it's a way for the blind to experience video, just like everyone else would. As for my impressions of the Apple Watch Series 5, it's a minimum update, but the way that they presented the Apple Watch and really got the message across that this is a health and fitness device was pretty incredible by showing people's testimonials of how the Apple Watch literally saved their lives or played a role in letting them still be here on this earth today. It was very heartwarming, and even just the ad itself for Series 5, very, very compelling piece of branded film. And lastly, the real star of the show was the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 11 Pro Max. The iPhone 11 Pro really excites me for its camera features and the possibility of using that camera as like as a magnifier. But I'm gonna be honest, the camera system isn't even my favorite aspect of the iPhone 11 experience. It was actually the presentation of how Apple allowed for someone like me to experience this. And what I mean by that is, for someone who's disabled or blind, going to these sorts of events where there's tons of people, there's a big operation, it can be very overwhelming. It's very daunting to be around people who are there to just get in and get out.
So we're about to get a hands-on demo of the brand new products that were just announced here at the Apple event. Let's see.
There's a lot going on. There's so many moving pieces, and I applaud the people who are putting on such an event. But for, again, someone who's there from the media to experience this who has a disability, it's overwhelming. It's not, you don't have high expectations. I can't speak for all disabled people, but a majority have voiced themselves similar experiences that I've had in the past, based on past conventions and past concerts and festivals. We have the expectation that things aren't going to be designed and made for us. Things aren't going to be accessible for us. We're going to get lost in a stampede of people. We're going to be trampled on. We're going to be lost. We're not going to get to the appointment or the scheduled performance that we want to get to because we can't navigate in this space that's very much just meant for able-bodied people. And it stinks. It's awful sometimes of an experience when that happens, and it happens too often. The reality is that I've had some accessible experiences at festivals and conventions, but they haven't always been consistent. Like, for instance, my first year at Coachella wasn't that bad. First day, a little rough, getting used to it, getting familiar, found all the ADA accommodations and everything I needed by the second day, and it was pretty smooth sailing from there. But the following year, it was kind of a mess. It wasn't a great experience for me, and I ended up just not going for a day and a half of the 3 days, and I haven't gone back since. So it's always kind of this inconsistent experience when we go to things like this. So this is my 4th Apple event. I've been to WWDC 2017, 2019, the March event, as well as now the fall event from 2019. And I've got to say, Apple does a real damn good job when it comes to consistency with accessibility. It's not just that Apple's products are accessible, but the entire experience of their events and visiting their campus has been accessible. It's been a great joy for people like me from the media who have disabilities, who have accommodation requests, because we can go and we have expectations that Apple is going to be an experience that isn't going to bore us. It's going to be a joy. You know, the product announcements aside, it's a good time to go. So what do all these accommodations kind of look like that Apple has put so much effort into offering? Right from the event invite itself, when you hit RSVP and you let them know that you're coming, you get a follow-up email. And that email is going to ask, do you have any accessibility accommodations? Reply to it and let them know what you might need. After some pretty smooth traveling to San Jose Airport, I went off to Cupertino. Within Cupertino was the Apple Park Visitor Center. This is essentially an Apple store with a little extra to go along with their Apple Park campus. This building is especially new, only being constructed within the last few years, but it's fully accessible. At least to my knowledge. If anyone else has any differing experience, let me know. I'm curious. Comments down below. When you arrive, you can request a cart to actually pick you up and drive you over to the Steve Jobs Theater. That's a little bit of a hike away. It's not too far, but if you want it, you can get a cart and they'll take you there. For people like me who are visually impaired, you can also get a sighted guide. Apple will have, whether it be retail or intern staff or anyone from the accessibility accommodations team, being able to just guide you around. It's nice. I don't have to bring my own person all the time to do that job for me. The Apple Steve Jobs Theater itself is just this big glass circle that you go inside, and then downstairs is the actual theater. To get downstairs, you simply can either just take the staircase or this circular, fully glass elevator, and it's like a Willy Wonka experience. It's pretty wild. For those of us who were there for accessible seating, we actually were able to take a pathway, an accessible pathway, to get to our seats. It was a good experience, and it was nice to get away from the able-bodied crowd of press that all go running in and just trying to get their shot. So what is it like to actually experience the Apple event itself? Sit in the audience and see everything that they're showcasing. Well, how do you see that if you're blind? Apple offers audio descriptions, so they have live describers available through a radio channel that you can listen in, and they'll describe everything, no matter what they're showing on stage, whether it be videos, pricing, tech specs, or even shot on iPhone photography. It's all being described. If Phil Schiller himself isn't actually describing the image, the audio describer is making sure that someone like me in the audience is getting that narration, that we're getting that information relayed to us, which is awesome. Not only do they have audio descriptions for the blind, but if you want to tune in for any other accommodated audio, you can do that. If you want enhanced audio of your hard of hearing, if you want translations, if you speak Chinese or Korean or Japanese, like, these are all available through this radio device. And all you have to do is ask by an usher, or if you're already with the accessibility group of people, all you got to do is essentially let them know and they'll have them. If you're deaf or hard of hearing, you can also get live captioning available, or interpreters, whatever you prefer. That's all happening, and that's all available live. If you are attending as a guest or press, I would recommend at least considering or looking into audio descriptions. Most of the time, people who are there are live tweeting, or they're very much distracted by their own device because you're trying to retain as much information as possible. So for me, who's also live tweeting the event oftentimes, at James Rath, if you don't follow me on Twitter already, I have the audio descriptions essentially relaying all the information that I need to make sure I'm not missing anything on stage. And for those of you who are sighted and you're just heads down looking at your laptop most of the time while you're typing your notes, you might miss something. Audio descriptions might be a quick way that you can hear another announcement coming, or hear what's on stage if there's certain information that the presenter himself or herself is not actually sharing. just something to consider. Audio descriptions aren't necessarily exclusive to blind and visually impaired. We're definitely the intended audience, but there's so many benefits and innovations when it comes to accessibility, and that's something that I just want to share and celebrate. So that's what I found to be my favorite aspect of the whole iPhone 11 Pro event unveiling, was the accessibility, was the consistency of the accommodations that Apple makes sure that its attendees are going to experience. So thank you. I would like to say, if you are about to attend a convention, a conference, some sort of concert, reach out to them. Reach out and ask, do you have any accessibility accommodations in place? Do you have ramps available? Do you have accessible pathways? Do you have interpreters? Do you have ways that blind folks can retain information that will be presented or experienced at these events? Even if you don't need these accommodations, please reach out and just be an advocate for us, because it goes a long way. When this awareness is spread and shared, it really does go a long way to help normalize and make sure that these companies, conferences, expos, whatever, are making sure that it's a universally designed experience for everyone. I hope that you could see different today, and I will hear you next time. Thank you. Bye.